Hi, my name is Adrienne Oliver and I'm with Remax Universal. Wanted to talk to you today about appraisals and kind of what I'm seeing in the market. So right now in the Houston Metro, we are having a huge seller's market, which means because interest rates are low, buyers are coming out of the woodwork, and almost everything right now that's affordable is having highest and best multiple offers. So what a lot of agents are doing, including myself, is we are trying to make sure that we secure a home for our clients. Sellers are sometimes taking advantage of this and they are pricing their homes unreasonably. So when I list a home as a listing agent, I make sure to pull up the comps and then decide on the listing prices with my clients. It's very important that your home appraise in order for the buyer to get the loan. So I'm going to go over kind of like what is an appraisal, why is it important. And the only other way that you can purchase a home or sell a home without an appraisal is to be a cash transaction, right? But the one thing I will tell you in my experience with the multiple cash transactions that I do is that people who have cash don't overpay. So if you're thinking I'm going to price my house really high and then, somebody with cash is going to just come and swoop it up, that's just not realistic. So there's two types of appraisal. There's an FHA appraisal, and the FHA appraisal you are stuck with on that home for 6 months. Conventional appraisals can be different from one to the next. They don't necessarily stay with the home. However, I will caution you because the appraisers usually are pretty good, right? And so when they do these, the comps are the comps. So you're not going to have drastically different comps with one appraiser than the other appraiser. As realtors, we also have a way to contact the appraisers. When I'm a listing agent, I usually pre-give the appraiser some comps, as well as anything that I think makes my listing special, i.e. upgrades. And I've been able to raise the appraised value this way and have been successful at it throughout my career. So when you look at this for a real property, it's going to require an appraisal. Sometimes appraisers will come out, and sometimes there's something called a desktop appraisal, which is basically a review. So they look at the location, they look at the neighborhood, and then they look at the types of comps. Like, are they similar? Are they one story? Are they two story? How many, square feet is it? All of those things, right? So you also are going to need to do this for an investment property. So they also will do them for investment properties, but there's a couple different ways that they do it. There's a cost approach, and there's also a sales approach and an income approach, right? So the sales comparison approach is going to be something that is based on the principal's residents, and then they're going to do comps on the property. So they basically research the market, look at different sales, find ones that are similar, and then do a comparison and contrast. So they upgrade or downgrade. Like, this one has granite countertops, this one doesn't, etc. So they would adjust it again. Cost approach. The cost approach is basically an estimate of like the land value with any kind of reproduction or replacement cost. That's the cost approach. You oftentimes will see this in insurance claims, like you have an destructive event like a fire, right? So that's the cost approach. The income approach, this is, hey, I'm going to buy this property. This is how much income it's going to generate, right? That's the model. They call it also, has to do a lot with the net operating income, or NOI, right? So you'll see those are a lot more, have to do with the actual investment property more than a single family home. So what happens when an appraisal comes in short? Okay, so there's 3 different things that can happen. 1, the seller can lower the price to the appraisal value. If I'm representing the buyer, this is what I want 110% of the time. I always want my clients as a buyer to only buy the property for appraisal value or less, right? I don't want them to overpay, especially because we've had a shortage in affordable housing. There's been a gap in the Houston Metro. The other thing that can happen is the buyer can pay the difference. So there's a $3,000 difference in the appraisal. The buyer just comes with the additional cash. Meaning, I have a $100,000 home and it appraises for $90,000, right? That's a shortage of $10,000. They're gonna have to bring in their closing costs, their percentage down, plus an extra $10,000 in order to close, so that you can do that. The third thing that you can do is you can do a combination of both, right? You can split the difference. This is what I'm seeing a lot happening right now. However, I will caution you. I have had a couple of clients who do this and then they want to sell their house down the road. It's going to take a percentage of time to make up that equity. So if you do that, it's okay, you can. However, just make sure that you understand what you're doing. You're basically putting your home purchase automatically in the red. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes things appreciate, but you never know what the market's gonna do. The one thing I will caution you about with this market, according to experts, is what I'm seeing is we've had this pent up foreclosure market that we haven't been allowed to do foreclosures because of COVID, which is a great thing. I'm not complaining. It's wonderful. Definitely shouldn't be putting people out of their homes during a pandemic. Probably not a good way to, stop the spread, right? But what's going to happen is those people are eventually either going to need to be caught up, or we're going to start the foreclosure process. This will dump a bunch of foreclosures into the market, making home values temporarily depressed. So that is more about appraisals and the way that we deal with them and what they are. It's very upper level, very kind of top level. If you have any questions regarding a specific appraisal issue, I would love to help you. If I don't know the answer, I know lots of smart people who can also help us. So give me a call. My cell phone is 832-217-7141. Thank you.